Hey, what's up? Welcome to this training. In this training, we're going to go through a breakdown of the fitness freelancer business model and exactly what it looks like. So at this point, you know what it means to be a fitness freelancer, what it entails, and how it can be the best ticket out of the 9-to-5 life. And what I'm going to show you today is the ridiculously simple business model that's going to allow you to go from 0 to 10K months in record time, like over 300 of our clients. So for me to put things into perspective, because a lot of people watching might not necessarily see how it's possible, right? Let's take a quick trip to the dentist. Now, let's say, for example, you go to the dentist with a toothache and you say, hey, dentist, this really hurts. I need you to fix my tooth, right? And the dentist says, okay, cool. Well, it's going to be $500 and it's going to take 5 minutes, right? So then you say, oh, well, 5 minutes for 500, that's a lot. In which the dentist replies, well, I could take 2 hours if I wanted to. Is that what you want? And there's just no way that you're going to take that, because the reality is people do not care about how long it takes, the way you do it. They just care about, can you solve their problem and can you get them the result? So when it comes to pricing, there are a few things that we need to keep in mind. There are major misconceptions that we need to now shake. The first is forget how much it costs you. All right, forget how much it costs you to deliver the program or your spreadsheets or whatever it is. Forget about how much time it takes you, because the reality is people don't care how much time it takes you. They just care about one thing, which is, can you solve their problem and what do they have to gain from working with you? So what you want to do is actually focus on what it is worth for your prospect or your potential client to actually have their problem solved. Now, traditionally, people look at it from a place of, oh, as a fitness coach, all I'm doing is sending people a spreadsheet or maybe an Excel doc, right? And, just talking to them once a week. So that's not worth very much at all. And that's not true at all, because when we put things into perspective, the reason why people work with a fitness coach is because it might potentially help them get the confidence so that they can date again and put themselves out there. It could help them gain confidence so they can actually ask for a promotion in their workplace instead of being overlooked again. It has the potential to help them rekindle their relationship with their husband or their wives, and maybe even fix their marriage because they're no longer insecure, or even allowing someone to live a few years older so they can actually walk their daughter down the wedding aisle. And so if you look at it that way, on top of other things like potentially helping someone get rid of heart disease or making sure that someone lives longer, or even, then that's actually priceless. In fact, it's actually worth way, way more than $1,500. There's always a segment of people out there that simply don't want the cheapest thing. So whenever you compete on price, which is a massive mistake that people make, then you become a commodity, which means that you end up getting compared to other people. You end up getting price shopped. It's kind of like Walmart. If we go into Walmart, then people are always looking for the cheapest thing, right? Because it's a commodity. Whereas if you can shift the focus to selling people the outcome that they want instead, that's what's going to allow you to ethically get paid a lot more. So the other thing too is there's a segment of the market that simply doesn't want the cheapest thing. And this happens in all industries. So when it comes to plane tickets, not everyone wants to fly economy class. Some people want business class or first class. When it comes to luxury brands, not everyone wants to buy the cheap handbags. Some people will purposely go out and buy designer handbags because they cost more, because it's more prestigious. And all this is to say that your pricing of your services is not to do with how much experience you have or how many clients you've coached in the past or how long it takes you or how much it costs you. It's ultimately to do with the fact that what does your people have to gain from working with you, and how is it going to change their life? So the more transformational it is in their life, the higher you can charge. And ultimately, when people pay, they pay attention. So if you've ever given your friends advice on fitness or even advice in general, You probably have experienced the situation where they don't really take your advice seriously. Well, it's because they didn't pay you. And so whenever people do pay you, they become financially invested. And because they're financially invested, they're then emotionally invested because they have something to lose. And because they're emotionally invested, they end up putting in the work and doing exactly what you say and becoming amazing clients and getting amazing results. So that aside, there's a second reason why you want to be charging high prices, and that is to do with the economics of your business model. So remember how earlier on in the previous videos, I told you that it's not uncommon for a lot of my clients to be making 10K a month very, very quickly. So now let's quickly map out how you're actually closer to it than you think you are. So say you want to make 10K a month and your price point is $2,500. Well, if we do the math, that's actually 4 clients a month that you'd have to get to hit your goals, which is 1 client a week. That's actually very doable with the right system, which I showed you in the earlier video. And that's actually over 6 figures a year. Now, if we contrast that with a traditional 9 to 5, if you want to make 100K, that actually takes a lot of years. It takes decades of qualification, years and years of experience. And most personal trainers never even make it there. I know because I've worked with dozens of them. So if you want to make 10K a month and you're charging $2,500 per client over a 90-day period, right, in which you get paid $2,500 upfront, you only need 4 clients a month to hit your goals, which is way easier than charging something super low, like $100 a month, in which you'd actually need 100 clients to hit your goals. And the beautiful thing about being a fitness freelancer is you don't even need to have a product set up before you acquire the client. The reason why that is because when you're working with someone on a one-on-one consulting basis, everything is customized based on what's best for them. So in fact, it wouldn't even be right if you had started to prepare an exercise plan or a meal plan before you knew who the client was. Because everyone's different, everyone comes in and, you know, one day you could get someone who weighs 130 pounds and is female and very active, trying to build muscle. And then on the other, you could have someone who's overweight coming in, who's 60 years old, and maybe they're 6 foot and they weigh 220 pounds. Now, those 2 people actually require completely different nutrition and training plans, right? Which is why you don't even need to have your product or your program or anything prepared until you get the client. And then from then on, it's just a matter of almost building the bridge as you cross it on a week-to-week basis. So there you have it, exactly how to price your services and the best way to get to 10K a month as a fitness freelancer, even if you currently have no experience, no proper skills, and you haven't even coached anyone before. Now, if you enjoyed this video training series and you know that it is your goal to leave the 9 to 5 as quickly as possible, and at the same time, you're ambitious and you're an action taker, and you will stop at nothing until you're able to actually leave your job and live life on your terms, then what I want to do is to invite you on a blueprinting session with either myself or a member of my team. So what this is this is a 1-hour consultation call. And on this call, we're going to go through 3 things. The first thing we're going to do is to go through exactly what's holding you back from living the life that you want right now. So what's holding you back from actually handing in your resignation and starting your business as a fitness freelancer. And the second thing that we're going to do is map out your goals. So my team and I have spoken to thousands of people. We're going to be able to tell you, we're going to be able to crunch some numbers with you and then help you get clear on how much you want to be making per month. Write the first goal for you, how much it takes for you to replace your salaries so that you can actually leave your job and start working for yourself, right? And the third thing that we're going to do is map out a game plan that's custom to you so that we can remove those roadblocks that's preventing you from ultimately working for yourself, becoming a fitness coach, and having the financial and locational freedom. Now, that said, these calls are only for people who are serious about getting to the next level. They're for action takers. They're for those who have had enough and frankly are fed up of working the 9 to 5. So these are only for winners. They're for people who are ready to take action straight away. They are not for people who are in some victim mindset of making excuses or wanting to stall, or even people who just try to gain a bunch of free information but never actually end up taking action and ultimately just end up staying stuck in the exact same place 10 years down the line. So that said, if you are the type of person who is entrepreneurial, if you can see yourself being a successful business owner and entrepreneur, right? And if it is a priority for you right now to be able to quit your job ASAP and finally live life on your own terms, then what I want you to do is to comment below saying me, right? Comment below saying me. And what we'll do is either myself or my advisor will reach out to you and we can have a chat. We can tell you a bit more about what we're about and then book a call and go from there. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video training. Any questions, drop them in the comment section and I will speak to you there.